7 of the 50 largest U.S. metros are now buyers markets. You've been waiting for it. Buy a house, and now buyers have the ability to take advantage of it. I was just on another live call and people are like, hey, when's the market going to turn? Well, the market turned a couple months ago, and now we have proof because right here it shows that Miami, Austin, Orlando, New York City, Jacksonville, Tampa, and Riverside, California are now in official buyers markets. What's a buyer's market? It is when houses on the average take 6 months to sell off, meaning that if they stop putting new houses on the market today, it would take approximately 6 months to sell all the inventory. That's a buyer's market. This says it reaches balance. We've been talking about what a balanced market is, and that's kind of like the gray area between a seller's market and a buyer's market. And that's really where we are in Silicon Valley and most of the Bay Area, except for Napa. Napa's been struggling for years right now, mostly because they don't have a huge industry. They have wine country, they have Airbnb, they don't have a lot of high tech there. So it's kind of like the country. However, in Santa Clara County, it's still not a buyer's market. I hate to tell you this. Sellers are more reluctant to sell their house at a lower cost. They would rather just let it go off market or just expire or cancel it altogether than not get the price that they want. Reason being is that they have a ton of equity into it. Even if they bought into it in 2021, 2022, when rates were 2.5%, 3%, they will not move to a 7% or a 6% house because it would double their cost, their monthly mortgage. Even if they went straight across. Somebody that owns a house with 2.5% mortgage is that they outgrow it, meaning they have children and they need a bigger house. So they might be forced to get a 3 or 4 or 5 bedroom, which costs more money. But right now, it's just easier for them to sit there and enjoy their small mortgage versus doubling or maybe even 2.5ing or tripling their current mortgage. It's just easier for them to sit there. So why would I move to another house if I know I'm paying 6 or 7%? It just is what it is. I have to move. So whatever. I get relocated, I need to buy a house, whatever reason, divorce, death, etc. That's what you're seeing is houses that are selling at a good clip. They're underpriced, they're bringing in the market, they're attracting the market, and they're getting deals done. If you overprice it, buyers know what the value of a house is. They see 50, 60, 100 houses online, and they'll go see 10, 15, 20 houses in person, and they know what your house is worth. Far better than you. So if your house is sitting on the market more than 15 days, your house is overpriced. So here's median list price, change over August 2019, 36%. All right, so we've increased values a third of where they were back in 2019, which is 6 years ago. Active listings, we had 4 million at one time, 4.5 million. New listings, which is August 2025, 400,000. That's our biggest problem, is that we have a very small inventory right now. But because of affordability, because of interest rates, homes just aren't selling at the same clip they were back in 2021. Low. Metro split along buyer-seller spectrum. Buyer market's highest months of supply, June, Miami, 9th. Those are mostly condos, right? Austin, there's a mass exodus in Austin because people that moved out of California to work remotely decided they didn't like Austin, so they're trying to move back to California. Same thing with Orlando, it's the condo situation, New York, Jacksonville, Tampa. Balanced markets, metro near the national average, Los Angeles, Denver, and Portland. Sellers market, lowest months of supply, Milwaukee, 2.7, St. Louis, 2.9, Grand Rapids, Michigan, 2.9, and Boston. That's where all this investors are right now. Inventory recovery stalls after 2 years growth. Yep, but again, that was the end of the summer, end of the selling season. So, that's kind of where it is. West, we have 26% increase in inventory. Yep. Relative to pre-pandemic norms, only the South and West are running above 2017, 2019 levels, and Midwest and Northeast lagging. Metros above the pre-pandemic levels, 25%, all concentrated in the South. South and West Denver, San Antonio, and Austin, 50%. Well, there you go. All right, 90 days on market. We have 101 homes that are on market over 90 days. Crazy. So this one I picked out. This is Ville Drive, San Jose, not my listing, obviously. It's $1 million, 4-bedroom, three full baths, 1,800 square feet, built in 1992. And it's right here, right by Metcalf Park. on Monterey Road. Guys, it's over the flight path, but this is a big house. It's a nice house. It's probably a little bit dated. Let's take a quick look inside. Yeah, it looks like Miami Vice. It's a good value. $1.4 million for a house like this. It's a good value. Look, everything's dated. I don't know why they did the landscape, all these 16:9 ratio aspect. I think it looks ridiculous. I would never have done that, but I'm not the photographer. I hire a professional photographer to do this. As a matter of fact, my photographer is going over there today to take pictures on my new listing. I went over there last night to make sure everything was perfect for the photography. But, for $1.4 million, I can tell you 111 days on market. They've dropped it $50,000. I bet you can get this thing for 1.3. Let's go take a look if you're interested. But the bottom line is you can still get a good deal on this. All right, 13th Street. This is distressed property of the week. And they actually lowered the price already because they want to sell it, right? It's been on market how many days? 20 days, and they've already dropped it. It's a 115-year-old house. This is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,300 square feet. But let's talk about why. $1.27 million is just ridiculous. They dropped it at $30,000. It's zoned R1, meaning its lot is so small that you can't put a duplex on it, unfortunately. I bet you could put an ADU on it. 13th Street. So if you know 13th Street, it's not a bad area. It's just you're close to the flight path, right? There it is. You're going to hear freeway noise. And here's the worst part about it. Actually, let's go into the satellite so you can take a bigger look. This area right here, 3 lots. It looks like it's a mechanic shop. And if you were to look at it from the street level, this is a commercial property, which is an auto place, right? A mechanic's place. So they're fixing cars. There's a boneyard right there. And your back in your side yard is a brick wall. You can see it right here. This is the building right here. See it? There's an even better look. So that's your side yard. Right. And this house is, let's go over here. This house is not in great shape. Looks like they redid the flooring and they redid the bathrooms. I mean, the kitchen. Yeah, not well thought out. Looks like somebody bought this as a flip and then couldn't sell it. And then it went back to the bank. All right. Homes near Apple, not my listing. This is Shasta Drive, $2.3 million. It's funny how you think about it. That's about twice what that other house was, but you're in a much better area. This is in Santa Clara, California, $2.3 million, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet, and half the age. It's built in 1959. And it's walking distance. Take a look inside. And it's nicely updated. Keep it, leave it. TVs are commodities now. They're not big, huge investments anymore. Oh, that's funky looking. That looks like retro. I kind of like that. Kind of a nice look and feel to it. Gives it the 1960s look. I like the big window. Yeah. This is a nice house. This is a good buy. $2.3 million. And Mountain View Home of the Week. This is a brand new home. $4.7 million. 4-bedroom, 3.5 baths, built in 2025. 2,250 square feet. And if Mountain View, it's right there. It's not quite walking to Castro Street, but this is a nice house, which is why I picked it, because it's brand spanking new. So what they did is they took an old house, tore it down, and used the lot to build this beautiful. Here you go. All right. This episode is brought to you by the Home Buyers Checklist, because now we're looking at buyers instead of sellers. This checklist allows you to walk through the house and look at every nook and cranny and check to make sure that it has air conditioning. There's no cracks on the walls. Makes you look at the level of the floor and the plumb and square of the walls, that kind of thing, and the landscaping. And it allows you to compare 4 or 5 houses as you go through. So if you're interested, drop down, take a look at this, print it out, and then you're off and running. The Santa Clara County single family home, 40 days, 90 days, bank owned, Bay Area and California. Nothing's crazy right here. There's no major shock that we're looking at. We're seeing a slight uptick in closed sales because now we're past August. Yeah, so we saw the market kind of slowly trickle down. Now we're going to see it come back up because we're going into selling season part 2, which again, I don't think this is going to be a great time to sell. If you need